So, what do you think happened there in the fourth quarter that went from a game that looked like it was going to go down to the wire to a blowout?
We started making shots, and DJ Stewart's good at basketball, so that helps a lot. But yeah, I mean, we went through the first three quarters. I mean, halftime we were below 30% from three, and really felt like for the most part we had some great looks. Kept generating them, and then really they just started falling. I mean, when you got starting with DJ, but Drew obviously hit a big one on the slip out. Nemi's ended up being a 2. I just found out. I thought it was a 3, so I was crazy excited about that. But yeah, I mean, we stuck defensively, tightened up second half, 17-17, the third and the fourth. So, you give yourself a chance to be in the game, to compete, to, ultimately win, have a chance to win. And then, you start making shots down the stretch and, everything actually, like the floaters, stuff at the rim. We were a little bit more assertive getting all the way there. They were small with Gates at the 5, and we just felt like, got to go score. And so, I think the first possession of the fourth quarter, DJ turned the corner right down, laid it in, kind of set the tone for us where we were a little bit more aggressive getting into the paint. And then that just opened up when they started rotating and shifting and still kept finding those guys, and then the shots started going in.
And on Thursday, you talked about how much this group loves each other. What does it mean to be going to the GLeague Finals after starting 11-11 this season?
I mean, it's a dream come true. Obviously, we're excited and going to enjoy it, but that's a quick turnaround. You're playing the first game 1 on Tuesday. Whether we're flying all the way across the country tomorrow or we're here, we don't know. So kind of enjoy it tonight, but it's just fun for me as a coach to watch like the whole group and like we've talked about the individuals growth over the course of the season, and then how that has like just kind of slowly but surely permeated into the development of the team and understanding how to play, how to read the game, how to play the right way, sharing it, and then ultimately defensively for us, and learning to win. We first whatever would have been 19-19 because we were 8-8 in the showcase. We had a handful of games where like we could have and should have won, and you've got to lead, and like how do you manage the clock and execute down the stretch and finish possessions with rebounding, and over the course of this run for us, 12 or 14, I think. Those pieces have kind of come together, where the individual growth, the team growth has just kind of culminated at the same time, and fortunately for us, at the right time.
Can you envision a stretch where you could play better basketball than that fourth quarter on both ends? I mean,
no, I mean that's the first time we've so we track 25-point quarters. It's something that Boston does, and it's I think it's like you have 80% chance or 75% chance or something like that. If you get 2 25-point quarters in a game, in an NBA game, you give yourself like 70-something odd chance of winning the game, or a percentage of winning those games. If you get 3, you're like at like 98, 99. It takes a pretty bad offensive performance to lose that game. This is the first time all year we've had 4. And in a G League game too, where the pace is a lot faster, it's a lot more chaotic, the turnovers, some of the decision making that generates transition points. So for us to do it, really when it mattered most, and on a night for the first 3 quarters where we really needed it. We weren't making shots. If we weren't guarding like that, we could have been down 20, and then this run turns into us like getting back in the game. But now you've put it in a 1-possession game down the stretch, and who knows what happens. They've got some really good players. Gilliard's is an absolute nightmare to guard. He's playing all 48 minutes. But yeah, fourth quarter wise, to score 38 and 17, it's got to be our largest differential for a quarter as well.
What's like most about the defense this team played, and being able to keep fouling too. I mean, this is a team that went to the line a lot in the last game, and this time they really had a tough time getting there.
A huge credit to the coaching staff, and then to our guys executing the game plan. I mean, every time they drove, like, we're playing a personnel tendency in terms of which hand they want to drive to, which hand they want to finish with, and just the discipline to like chest up, show your hands, make them take and make a tough shot if they do, or you have a teammate coming to second contest and block it or change it. So for us, it was really like transition, the free throw line, trying our best to limit Gilliard as a playmaker, because he's so talented, he's so quick, he gets in the paint, he's got great vision. And he obviously can score. He can score at all 3 levels, where that's a tough cover. And then the rebounding piece, like finishing possessions. And there was the one, like, I don't know, coming out of timeout 5.5 minutes to go. It's like they got 3 offensive rebounds. We ended up getting a stop, but it's like that's a play that can swing the game. But the free throw line was a huge piece. It's something we've really talked about all year, and we're frankly not great at it. In most games, I think we're in like the low 20s in terms of free throw rate for our opponents. So tonight, like across the board, like the game plan execution, to try to take away what they do best individually and collectively, and then a big piece of that being the free throw line was, a difference in the game where, especially in the G League, we can go and it's 1 for 2, and like it can sway a lot where you're putting guys at the line. So, just overall fantastic job of executing.
Hey, Coach, talk about DJ Stewart's overall performance this entire year. 27 points today. He's been arguably the best sixth man in the G League this season.
Arguably?
Just talk about, maybe not arguably. What makes him so special for you guys?
DJ Stewart is a baller. He bails us out, bails me out all the time. He just has a knack. He's a talented scorer, can create. His playmaking has come, such a long way. But for him to be able to score at all 3 levels, and his ability to shoot off the dribble is, to me, like probably the biggest game changer for him to be able to play pick and roll. And whether it's threes or pull-ups or getting to his floater, he's a tough cover. He's just kind of one of those slippery guys. He's not really big. He's not really physical. He's not really quick. He's just kind of slippery, and gets to his spots. And there's nothing that he hasn't seen that like he can't figure out. But yeah, he's just a baller.
And
there's no award, so we're going to pretend like he's a sixth man of the year. It's hard in the G League when it's like there's all this movement and you got guys, starting out of the rotation in the rotation. So there's not. He's probably one of the very few guys who's consistently been a sixth man for us because JD and Drew are here. But across the board, across the entire season, for those of you guys that have followed us or been here, like he's kind of been the guy that's like whenever you need him, whatever you need. JD's gone, he's a starting point guard. Drew, Walsh are gone, he's a starting 2 guard. They're back, he's back to the bench, and like every single step of the way he continues to produce and contribute. And he's a huge piece. We've got phenomenal guys across the board. Very lucky man, a very lucky coach, but he's a huge piece of our spirit, our togetherness, the locker room, like the camaraderie, and with everything that he does and everything he is as a person.
Yeah, and then can you also talk about the influence that guys like Tony Snell and Scotty Hopson have on the locker room? Because, Tony's played almost a decade in the NBA, but Scotty's been around for 10 years plus, played a little bit in the NBA as well. Can you talk about them?
Both guys have been massive for our young guys. Tone, his locker's right next to Jordan Walsh. I'm, if you couldn't tell, usually pretty angry. And Tone is that reassuring voice, the voice of a veteran who's seen it all and been there, done that, and can back it up with a playing career, a phenomenal playing career. And then Hop has just come in and ingratiated himself within the locker room. Such a phenomenal piece for me. Like he understands what a head coach is going through and how to message things to the collective team. When I might not be great at doing it, or it might be a little bit more assertive. But both guys for us with that I think for us that first stretch of the year it was just Tony as a veteran leader, and now it's like you've seen the group grow up quite a bit with the addition of Hop and those 2 guys, and then like the young guys like understand this is what he was talking about. I get it, and like kind of piece it together. And have just been tremendous voices and leaders for us in the locker room. They break everything down. They're the guys that really set it's tone. So they set the tone. But they've been tremendous for our group and certainly for us as a staff.
And my last one is I was at the locker room when you guys were celebrating. Where'd you learn how to dance like that?
Eric Mitchell, my best friend in high school. I was trying to channel my best Ted Lasso. I got a little bit more to me than a quirky white guy, but not too much. That was about the extent of it. So, but our group loves to have fun. They have, from start to finish, win, lose, or draw, every single day they show up, ready to work and really ready to enjoy it. And that's, for us, been the message the whole time, an opportunity to play a conference final game, to go to the finals on your home court, enjoy it, have fun, like be true to yourself. And our group as a collective they have a blast. They love each other. It's so much fun, and it's obviously winning's fun, but like it's part of it. Like that spirit for our group it contributes to winning. Like everyone's selfless. We got guys up and down the roster. JB, Don Carey won us a game to get the bye, and if we didn't get the bye, like I don't know if we're here right now if we get healthy in time. And JB started games, come off the bench. Obviously with Nimi here, it's a tough decision, but like up and down the roster, we've got guys that are so selfless and caring, and they're about the right stuff. They're about winning and sacrifice, and I think that's pretty rare in this league. And that's not a knock on anybody. It's hard not to be in this league with what everyone's fighting for. But the reality is, if you do that, you actually put yourself in a better position to get where you want to go, because that's going to be your role at the next level.